All right, hi. I'm going to be discussing resonant voice therapy, but specifically with for V and Z in adults. All right, so like I mentioned, my therapy technique is resonant voice therapy for the specific sounds of V and Z for adults. Okay, so what exactly is the goal of resonant voice therapy, or like what is it? So the goal of resonant voice therapy is to improve forward resonance and to reduce sensation of vocal effort or the feeling of effort, discomfort, pain in the throat. So resonant voice therapy, it uses forward and nasal consonants to achieve sensation of forward resonance. So when people are using resonant voice therapy, it's usually or generally hierarchical. Uh, so I'm going to specifically cite the Lasac-Madsen resonant voice therapy. So this is a specific RVT, I guess, program or schedule or just template in general. So it starts with the resonant voice basic training gestures and then advances into words, phrases, and sentences, concluding at conversational speech. So now that you know what resonant voice therapy is, let me show you how to do it and what that looks like. All right, let's get to it. So there are a couple different steps for resonant voice therapy, and I have it as about 7. The 8th one's kind of just for fun, but there's 7 of them. So starting with number 1. Number 1 is starting off at sustained sounds. So with this, you're going to want to begin with isolated production of the sounds. In this particular case, it would be V and Z. Those are the target sounds. And this is to build a foundation with how the sounds feel and what they sound like. So this is just zzz, right? So you're going to do that to build a nice, firm foundation with these sounds. All right, step 2. So step 2 is considered or called a chant. Okay, so what is a chant? So this step is when you incorporate the targeted sounds into a rhythmic chant or repetitive vocalization exercise. This can be done to feel the vibration in one's face. So with this, you can practice different volumes, speeds, and pitches. So this can be vo, 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 vo for a V. So things like that. That's going to want to really feel the vibration. You're going to want to really feel these vibrations in your face. Vo, 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 vo. Zo, 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 zo. All right, moving on to step 3. Okay, so step 3 is words. So this, you're going to want to practice the sounds in single words containing V and Z. And you're going to start with simple words and gradually increase the difficulty. So for V, it could be vine, velvet, Z, zoo, zipper. And then you could just gradually increase the difficulty with these words. All right, now that we've done the first 3 steps, let's get to step 4. Step 4 is targeting resonant voice therapy using these targeted sounds at the phrase level. So the phrases, you're going to practice the sounds in short phrases to encourage carryover into connected speech, right? So starting with V, it could be something like vivid colors or vivid colors, right? You want to really feel the resonance and you want to feel it in your face. For the Z sound, zebra, zoo, right? You want to really kind of try to almost extend these sounds as well to really feel the vibration. So vivid colors, zebra, zoo. All right, that was step 4. All right, so the next one, which is around step 5 now, is quasi speech. So this one's a little not tricky or silly, but just kind of bear with me with this one. So number 5, speech, quasi speech, excuse me. So with this, you begin imitating speech patterns by including the target sound with a vowel. This is another step towards generalization. So with this, it could be imitating speech patterns, which kind of sounds a little silly and goofy, but it's going to look something like this. So V, 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 V. Right? And you're going to want to probably put more emphasis on actually fully resonating. So V, 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 V. So I kept the same vowel sound, which in this case would be the E, and I stuck the target sound, which was the V, in front of it. I just kept it consistent, and I try to maintain a normal speech pattern as if I was conversing with another individual. So like V, 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 V. All right, now step number 6, prompted conversation with the clinician, right? So this is when you're going to want to engage in structured conversation with the clinician where the targeted sounds are used naturally, right? And this is one of the final steps before overall generalization. So this could be the clinician really monitoring and focusing on those target sounds and just throwing different scenarios at the client and obviously making sure that they're focused on the specific sounds, which in this case will be V and Z. And obviously, since it's for adults specifically, you can kind of have more of a variety of topics. Like if you're working with a child, you focus on the zebras at the zoo. And obviously for adults, it could be a much wider range of topics. All right, and this brings us to step number 7, which is prompted conversation in natural environments, right? So this is when the client is going to practice using the targeted sounds in various real life scenarios, right? And it's going to be natural. This could be with different conversation partners other than the clinician. Obviously, this could be with friends, family, etc., etc. And they're going to be focused on these specific targeted sounds, V and Z. All right, and step 8, which is have fun, right? Because therapy is most effective when it can be considered fun for the individuals, right? So this is when it kind of becomes to the SLP where they need to find relevant and effective ways to connect the material to the client, right? Just make it fun, make it effective, make it functional. It's going to be useful if you can do it with 3 to 5 times a week and just continually practice. Have fun, do your best. You got it. So that was Resonant Voice Therapy, focusing on the sounds V and Z for adults.